What up? Welcome to Agent Relay's Emergent Behavior. Where the music is louder.
Yes, it gets louder every time.
So I really think that
I think the music, that beat was actually pretty good. It sounds like a Drake beat.
yeah. Anyways, yeah.
No, that's good. That's fine. That's fine.
What up? What up? Small week for us. It's the,
Small week or short week?
I thought it was a huge week, but I was just.
Oh yeah, it was. It's been a while since we had this this call, right?
We were in San Francisco, New York. What else
Yeah.
happened last week? Yeah,
What
it's
happened
been a
last
month.
week? Has it been a month? Wow.
Yeah, a little less than that, but yeah.
And we had someone tell us they've seen this. So
We have our
Yeah.
first fan shout out to the guy whose name I can't remember.
that we need to respond to, actually.
Yes, if you're watching this, we are working on it.
Literally all day and night.
So I heard this term. I read this term. I was out and someone told me about this. Now saw this on Twitter. The term AI vampire.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Dopamine loop.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And the number of times I've gone to bed past 4 a.m. it hit a little harder than I expected.
I don't think I've never done 4 a.m. That's not even like the latest is 2, and even now I'm like, oh man, like this is bad. 4 a.m. No thanks.
I mean, it takes discipline to stop. I'm not saying
I
it's a matter of like pride. It's more of
I know. Honestly, I get my autonomous agent. What do I call it? Autonomous. What's it called? I forget, but it's autonomous something. And I say, I'm going to bed. Keep things running. You have full autonomy, and when I wake up, I want it all done.
Why do that while you're sleeping? Why not just do it all day?
I do that too. Trust me. I do that, then I kick off a workflow on another computer, and then I plan with other agents on other windows and check on the workflow, check on the autonomous stuff, test, plan, and a loop.
So would you say you're reading a lot of code, writing a lot of code, or not involved with the code at all?
Definitely not writing any code. I'm reading a lot of code, and I'm orchestrating a lot of code. I'm not writing any, and I'm reading a ton of conversation with a single agent that is then controlling agents, as is our thesis.
As is the reason to Well, do you want to show us proactive agents, or should we just chit chat?
Let's show that next week, because I think we'll have some people onboarded, and
Oh, all right.
I mean, could show it, but I mean, our Slack is like our review agent is all over the place, reviewing everything.
Did I tell you I had a workflow running that was pushing up to a PR to get out of the hamster loop and watch the review comments?
Yeah.
At the same time, your agent was making the fixes, but would try to push up and then complain to me.
Yes.
Like the very passive aggressive, like, well, I would have done this. Looks like another agent is writing over my commits.
Yeah. Last night, some of the agents were like, this bot is pushing, and because the bot was like erroring sometimes, and it was still push. So the agent was like, oh, this bot is pushing without testing. Like, this is like, what's going on? Like,
we're gonna have to have agent therapy as a service.
Seriously. But I did correct that hopefully, so that if it errors, it doesn't like push some junk. But this is what we wanted, like the hamster wheel, that it like watches the PR, pushes, fixes.
No, it's great. I do think there are some rough edges for us to figure out here,
Yeah,
literally around conflict resolution, like sort of human level problems of, okay, we figured out how to get the agents to work autonomously and work together. But that work together part is like, there's a big hand wavy how they do that. And part of it is like how they communicate, how they
right. Because
handle.
every agent has been confused because like, oh, it'll push, and I'm like, oh, did you check this and this, and then the other agent will fix, and like, oh, someone else pushed to my branch, and like confused. I'm like, yeah, like it's our agent.
What the hell, bro? What?
I mean, I guess the answer is probably communication.
If only there was some way to do that.
I don't know.
Well, I'm fired up. We released version 8 this week for Relay, which was much harder than I expected it to be. There's a lot of,
But worth it.
yeah, I think so.
Well, I know so. I mean, like I told you, I was getting pair to the new version, and then hooked in. I started like hooking in the proactive agent at like 7. I mean, by midnight it was working, but still, like
Yeah.
that's a short amount of time for what we had talked about, like for a long time, of an agent responds to a GitHub issue, responds to a Slack message, and so like literally the codex was like, hey, like this is pretty easy. I didn't have to make any changes to the relay core at all, and everything
Yeah.
just worked.
That dream of like a proactive agent picks it up and then I can still see it in my local app is pretty
Right.
cool. Like
Yeah.
that's
Wow. Like, and then like I went to bed, but I still had my Mac Mini up, so I was like chatting with my swarm from Slack, and I was like brushing my teeth, like, hey, like what's the status? Which like is what I want.
yeah. Well, it's funny because it's like we're achieving this dream, but then it's always there, you know. It's almost
Yeah.
too good.
Yeah. But I mean, still. So I, like, not to take your thunder, but yeah, I think it was worth the upgrade because it was pretty smooth.
No thunder taken. That's great. I think I'm so excited about all the different pieces we have coming together. And I feel like we've been saying that a lot for maybe many months now, but it actually is coming together, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of milestones. I was writing it in all caps a lot this week.
Yeah.
which is good, because it was like it just kind of like things clicked, and then another thing clicked, and another thing clicked, and like DJ Khaled.
And another one. Congratulations. We played ourselves,
You
right?
played yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But,
spending some time getting other people to be as excited about it as we are is the next maybe obvious step.
mhm. Yep. And yeah, I mean, proactive agents has been working most of the week, and there, like you said, there's a lot of rough edges. Still some issues around like timing, but like the nice thing is that I can trigger a team of agents from a GitHub issue, a linear issue, a Slack message. So I didn't even figure out like how do we use that, because I don't know yet actually. And how do we adapt to the new reality of like we can have background agents from any surface triggered from anywhere.
Yeah.
How do we actually incorporate that into our workflow?
Yeah. And stay on top of it.
Right.
Yeah, the pure volume of what we've been creating is a lot. It's a lot to handle.
Yeah.
If you couldn't do it without agents.
There's no possible way. I wouldn't even try. I mean, I was just thinking about the relay file abstraction, how much work is there.
Yeah.
And then like it's working nicely, but also so much stuff there to like reason about and maintain too.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see Anthropic's recent article on, the rate at which code is being written on
I didn't see
Claude
that.
code? Like it's sort of the classic hockey stick graph, but
Yeah, yeah.
alluding to that it might soon be writing itself.
Isn't it already?
That was my response as well. It's like
I mean,
that
yeah,
was my expectation already, but
yeah. What do you mean? It is writing itself.
I think what they were more alluding to is like self-managed. Like my read on, I don't know if Anthropic is that much farther ahead than us in terms of like what is being managed by agents.
Mhm.
Of course, I don't know. I'm not there, but
Yeah, yeah.
based on the external artifacts and like their recent workflows is like, our workflows from 3 months ago.
Right.
And I'm certain that they are probably also slowly sharing things, like not when they're exactly using it, but
Yeah, yeah,
good validation.
yeah. I want to get my homie Ricky out there to.
Yeah, Ricky needs to see the world.
Yeah, but one thing at a time. I mean,
No, actually, not one thing at a time.
well, 15 things at a time, but one thing to launch at a time, I think. But yeah, like we talked about, I think Mac apps are a good way to introduce what we have. And I think Pear has a lot of concept stuff in that kind of have to make easy to reason about and understand.
So I went to New York this week. Was it this week? Yeah, it was this week. And one of the sessions I went to was the agent-to-agent protocol, sort of discussion on that. And they asked a question, which I'm interested in your answer. I'm going to put you on the spot. If you had to define what an agent is, what would you define it as?
An agent is an AI system in a loop, or AI system, artificial intelligence, LLM in a loop, large language model in a loop. And so that loop is the harness that's running the loop, and the model is the intelligence behind it.
Well, so I think you got to include tool calls there too. So it's like
that's part of the harness. I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the harness includes the tooling.
Right.
But yeah, that can be a pretty broad definition, because I think a lot of people think of agents more narrowly than that.
How so?
An agent that's like an SEO agent that, or maybe it's more the anthropomorphize.
Right.
Agent.
Yeah. I mean, agents have specializations.
Yeah.
But that's still just giving a slice of the LM, or giving it some kind of like, distinct knowledge.
Yeah. But I do think increasingly my definition of an agent should include proactivity. And again, I think this is the problem with all like buzzwords in tech, is like they lose meaning very quickly. But for me, when I think about what I think we're building and like what an agent should be, regardless of the technology under it, it's something that can proactively take action on my problems.
Right.
or defined problem.
Yeah. And I think, people are coming around to that. And if I think about like how things have shifted, I think the OpenClaw thing was like a huge jump in people's minds in terms of like accessibility, like how you can interact with the agent and different surfaces, and like how it can be personalized. And so people were using Claude just like on front of the computer, like not like, on WhatsApp or Telegram. And so then you see like the rise of personal assistants with like Lindy and Victor and Bud and a bunch of other stuff. I think the next leap, as you said, is the proactive agent. And there's some companies starting to do that. Like Tasklet has a nice system, Hyper Agent is really, as we talked about before, one of the better ones. Timbu is pretty good. So I think there's starting to be some there, and I think that's the next like really big thing coming.
Yeah, I agree. Those companies are doing a good job. I think there's a lot of people out there who I feel like have taken to take a car analogy, they're taking the Model T and putting it in the field and trying to push a plow. Like we still have chat widgets on websites,
Right.
the main form that people are using these LLMs, and it's like, well, that's not really where all the upside is.
Yeah.
And that could be interface, but that also just frankly could be, what it does for you.
Right. And I think there's still room for like the N8Ns where like it's just a deterministic thing. Like, something happens, XYZ happens, this happens, and that happens. And then maybe there's some intelligence there. Maybe not even. You just want to have like workflow steps that go in a certain order that is also proactive.
The agents are going to need deterministic tools.
Right.
And I think the UI or the interface, the human interface, changes a little bit insofar as you're describing more broadly vague, ambiguous problems.
Right.
But I think there's this huge economy for agents themselves and the tools that they use. Because just like humans, they don't want to have to create everything. Like it's a waste of tokens, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Waste of
They need primitives to operate to make it. What was this? I saw someone had an article kind of like that where it was more than skills. It was like scripts that agents could reuse in a way. I've read the post very briefly. I forget where I even saw it, but it's kind of like what you're alluding to, where they're not having to reinvent the wheel. And it's more than skills. And of course, with skills, you can include scripts, but it was a little bit deeper, better abstraction than that. I forget exactly what it was, though.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what the shape will look like, or even if it'll fit within the like harnesses that we know of today. But
yeah,
I'm deeply convicted that there's going to be this whole universe built just for agents that really humans don't even interact with.
Yeah. Also, I think some people. I was talking to someone this week. He was like, "Yeah, like someone was saying, a proactive agent is like." Almost like too scary in a way because like it's unpredictable. So I think you need the right controls and guardrails, as we often say, with a proactive agent to give it some predictability and know what's happening. So I think it's very easy very quickly to like spiral out of control, like, oh, what's happening? Like, and it might be emergent behavior. It might just be like you don't know actually what the defined behavior is. So it seems emergent, but it's actually just like what you defined, but you kind of lost sense of what it was at the root level.
Yeah, it draws parallels to like human behavior again, but I wonder if someday we'll have some form of interview processes for hiring an agent. Like, do I want this agent as a part of my life to manage my home? Like,
right.
And what tools will we have to sort of evaluate and gain confidence in the agents that we're quote unquote hiring to make decisions for us? And
which is why I think the way we're going about it of dev-centric, giving the people the ability to actually define their agent in code versus a lot of the like black boxes that are out there where you can interact with Victor, but you have no idea what's actually happening behind the scenes, like how it's managed. And so I think giving the developers the control, and everyone knows developers like control, even if it is LLM generated, still like they want to know what's happening with their agent and how they can define that very discreetly. Distinctly.
And discreetly. So no one knows.
Well, I think like discrete math, like discrete.
Yeah.
But yeah. Discreetly, like very secretively.
I'm embarrassed by my agent use. I don't want anyone to know what I'm doing.
Should I show the one-click deploy agent, or should we wait on that?
Let's end it off with the one-click deploy. Do we have a check-in?
No, he canceled.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll share my screen.
One-click deploy. Let's see it.
So what do we have here? We have.
Hold on. There we go.
All right. So in this repo, which we have not released yet, since it has no stars, is our agents repo that has some pre-built agents. So we have a team implementer, which is an entire swarm of agents that can be triggered. A cloud team reviewer, a granola agent, Hacker News Monitor, linear agent, repo hygiene agent, review agent, spot press release agent, vendor agent. So let's go to the review agent because that's what I've been dealing with a lot this week. So you see there is a persona.ts, which defines the agent. So it listens for integration from GitHub and Slack. And it has access to Slack channels to be able to actually use them to write back messages. And so what you define is the harness, the model, the system prompt, and memory. And then in the code, you can actually define how the agent behaves, like the runtime behavior. So the persona is like the static behavior or the definition, and the agent.ts is the runtime behavior. So this agent has gotten a little bit more robust as we've tested it. But basically it has some triggers. So on a pull request opened, review submitted. So that's when like another bot reviews and this PR agent wants to review that and fix a comment, and then a check run's completed. So maybe there is a failing CI, the agent can fix that, and then a push, so synchronized. So if there's a push, the agent can also run against that too. And based on these triggers, then you can have different behaviors that happen off of these triggers. And then what happens after the end, the agent will send a Slack message. What I've defined that I want is that the agent actually, when the PR is ready for me to review, it sends me a message that, hey, like you can look at this PR now because all the bots reviewed it. I've made all the fixes. Now you can actually look at it. And so what you can do as a user is go to this repo, which is open source, and launch. You could fork it, change how the behavior is, or just launch the agent as is. It's going to take you to this wizard, which will allow you to one-click deploy it. So I've already deployed it 8 days ago. But if I want to do that again, go through the steps. I can connect to GitHub and Slack, which I have already. Then I can choose to use my plan or bring my own key. And then I can define the properties. So the channel, I can define the approvers. So it's going to be me, review authors, will or me, and then skip label. So if I don't want the agent to review, I can do no C. And then the next step, so I'll keep going here. And then deploy agent. And I'm not going to deploy it because I've already deployed it, but that would be the last step. And then your agent is active and it's deployed with agent relay.
And so where do the agents run?
On agent relay.
Okay, but you said you could use your subscription.
Yes.
And so for new users, there's a step where you would go through.
Yeah, exactly. So if you haven't connected your subscription in this step, it's going to say, okay, use subscription. Then like run this command to actually connect your credentials to our system, which is encrypted. So you can actually, the agent can be spun up on a sandbox and do what it needs to do.
Nice.
Same thing with integration. So connect GitHub. So it's going to be able to clone whichever repos you set, instantiate them in the sandbox. And then Slack, it's going to be able to write and read from Slack as well.
Sick.
So yeah, it's the next phase.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, pair coming at you next week. Release next week. SDK release. Like, what? I don't know what. Something's coming out next week.
We got so much in the pipeline that it's just a matter of choosing one, I guess. We'll see where the market takes us.
Yeah.
Next week's all about getting the word out there, marketing, using the agents we have for like the Reddit post monitor, the
I
hacker.
haven't spun up those yet, like the Reddit monitor, the Hacker News monitor, Twitter monitor. I also got a Grok, which is good because I can do the Twitter monitor now.
Yeah, so I feel like that we're past the like heads down build phase, and now it's about let's use what we've built to see if we can get it out there, because it should work.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to harden it a little bit and keep moving.
Righteous.
Until next time.
Until next time. I'm gonna do the Freddy thing.
He's got moves already?
Oh, he's got moves.
I wouldn't expect any less.
Yeah, he's part of the fan.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm out.